There's a city that's known and there's a city that's unknown. And the city that people try to forget is the city that's suffering the most, and that's Kensington. And that's the urban part of the cities who are struggling with the opiate addiction, with homicides and with crime and rapes and all these things, and sex trafficking and things that people don't want to talk about. People don't want to talk about the ugly. But the fact is that the ugly affects everybody in the inner city, and it would eventually trickle out into the city that's known. So I think it's important that people pay attention.
My name is Victor Negron. I'm currently Vice President of Public Affairs and Marketing for Ameril Caritas. It's a Medicaid insurance company. Roz, look at Roz. The pain and the suffering is what created that passion and that commitment to do things that no one else will do. But what makes them amazing is that passion and that commitment through that suffrage. And again, you find me a grassroots movement that there wasn't suffrage, I'll do whatever you want me to do, but I doubt you're going to find that.
Roz Pichardo of Operation Save Our City. Well, we worked with families of homicide victims, and we're like a support group. We give them tools on what to do to kind of help their family's case get solved. I started Operation Save Our City after the homicide of my brother, Alexander Martinez, who was 23. Well, I learned that there weren't too many services available to us. My mom was lost. We were lost, trying to figure out how we were going to bury my brother, and the logistics of calling the detectives and getting a call back and getting victim services to help pay for the funeral, trying to find out how much the reward was and how we can get the information out there. So we didn't have any knowledge of how to do that. We had to learn how to do it ourselves because there was no help. I started with one particular family who, Najee Rivera. They just needed help getting the word out and getting a rally and getting a vigil started, so that way we could kind of get the word out on social media. And that was a big success because we were relentless when it came to door to door. Like, we went to hundreds of doors. The good thing is we had a support team. We had the family who was willing to do the work, and not expect only us to do the work, So they were a key player in helping.
I'm Bilal Khayyam, president of the Father's Day Rally Committee. I got connected with Roz from my work in doing neighborhoods across the city, trying to support and organize groups to be more active, trying to reduce violence. And I met with Roz, saw her out on numerous occasions on the street corners, by herself in some instances. And we just connected because of the work she was doing and the work I was doing. And I've been a strong supporter of Roz and continue to support her in the work that she's doing. She's like a one-person tornado coming through these neighborhoods, preaching peace and trying to get folks to reduce violence. And as well as an outspoken individual trying to bring justice to families who have had unfortunately, loved ones lost to violence in the streets in Philadelphia. And Roz is that one of those voices where you can always count on for being out there and supporting those families.
The suspect that once we put his face out there and we knew his name, we began to use a different tactic to kind of bring him out. And we went to his family's house and put flyers in his family's mailbox and say, hey, your cousin's wanted, your son is wanted for homicide, there's a $20,000 reward, you need to turn him in. And we just kept doing that. He eventually became angry and shot up my house. So, that's the danger in doing this work, but eventually he was caught. He was caught because he used the same car that he used on the homicide to shoot up my house. And, we ended up having to move for the second time after the second shooting. So, but that comes with the work. And he was caught.
Walk for Peace here in Philadelphia. We're representing all of the families of homicide victims, and we're just out here trying to get justice and getting answers, and we're just doing it in a large way. We have a lot of families out here, and we're their voices, so we're not giving up.
I'm Dina. I'm here for my friend Jay Rivera. He was shot on December 5th. He died on December 20th. I'm here to get justice. They actually caught my boyfriend's killer, so I'm here to support all these other families because I know what it's like to lose a loved one.
3 months, 12 days. April 10th, he was shot and killed on being Allegheny. I'm still feeling the pain.
It's just hard, you know?
It is hard. This is something that's really...
One day you talk to him and the next day he's not here.
You know what I mean?
I just want whoever did it to come forward so that, you know, we can sleep at night and we have a peace of mind, you know? And it's not fair that this person can live their life and have fun and like nothing happened while we all here suffering and going through it. I miss my brother every day and it's really, really hard. I miss him more than anything and nothing in this world could bring him back.
My name is Ozzy Molina. You know, I miss my brother dearly. This gonna have a hole. This gonna be a hole in my heart for the rest of my life.
I keep doing it despite the danger because nobody else won't do it. I have to do it. And there's other groups out here who are doing certain things that's necessary. You know, they have groups that support moms. They have groups that everybody has their place. You know, I'm in the street. If I can stay doing for people, I would. But because there's so many homicides, I can't. I have to go to the next person. And what's beautiful about the movement, Operation Save Our City, is that it's growing, but it's growing in a way where a mother can start her own organization, where a mother can start her own foundation. And it just simply started because I say that you can, and it's possible. I'm a girl from Kensington that has finished high school, a little bit of college, but tragedy struck so many times that I had to stop work and deal with this. And through tragedy can come so many beautiful things, and that's empowerment of mothers and sisters in our community. I think the city should be out on the street. Like, they need the people in the street to see firsthand what's happening. Sitting behind a desk 9 to 5 is not the solution. If you understood what the street was about, you'd be able to better serve them. But they're not. They're sitting in their office making up these plans that are not realistic for my community. Nonprofit groups in Philadelphia, some are helping, some are the problem. You know, you have $1 million companies in my community who is profiting off of our suffering and not helping. They have, I won't say any names, but they have these organizations who have on their pamphlets that they help families of homicide victims. They do all these things and more. That's what they have on their thing. And it's like, what does and more mean? And what do you actually do for families of homicide victims? Do you just mail them this postcard and expect that to be service? That's not service. Service is going to a mother's house who just lost her child, comforting her and giving her the services that she needs. I see the future of Operation Save Our City as something that's evolving to so much more than homicide. Unfortunately, we're going to continue to have homicides here in Philadelphia, and I can continue to serve the families. But we've grown into so much more where we've been dealing with the homicide, the opiate epidemic, and just helping them with services and just giving them an outlet, like the different services that are here in Philly. And because I'm out there every day, I can tell them what's happening, where's the next feeding spot if I don't have enough food in my van. So it's just evolving to just caring about everyone, from families of homicide victims to homelessness to people who are suffering from active addiction. My message to families who've lost a loved one to homicide is not to give up. It's to keep fighting and to keep putting the message out there that their killer is wanted, and just simply not to give up.